A new documentary uses long-lost private letters, diaries, and photos belonging to Heinrich Himmler, one of the Nazi regime's leaders. Himmler was responsible for implementing Hitler's plan to exterminate Jews. Earlier, I spoke with the film's director, Vanessa Lapa. Vanessa, welcome to Arise America. I'm so intrigued by this project that you've worked on. Before we talk about the documentary, let's talk about the documents upon which the film is based. First of all, where was this collection of documents, diaries, and pictures, and how did you get to them?
For the last 40, they were stolen by American soldiers from the house of Heinrich Himmler in Germany in 1945, and there is a gap between 1945 and 1960. Starting the early 60s until 2006, under the bed of an Israeli man named Chaim Rosenthal. In 2006, he decided to give them out to someone who will make something important with them, and through a professor at the Tel Aviv University, it came to my ears, and I went to see the collection.
And give us an idea of how extensive, how much is included in this collection.
There are about 350 letters from Heinrich to his wife, about 10 to 15 diaries, all kinds of diaries, baby journals, poesy books, household logs, Christmas log, about 135 still pictures, private pictures of the Himmler family, some postcards, the party booklet of Himmler's wife signed by Himmler, the Hitler Youth document of their adopted son. So all kind of private
Depending on your perspective of history and this atrocity that occurred in which he had a very large role to play, your description of this collection might vary, but it really is a treasure trove in terms of sort of getting into the life and the background of Heinrich Himmler. Tell me a little bit about what you learned about his formative years, his childhood, that would either indicate how his life would end up or explain how he became who he is.
Well, actually, you know, I learned everything because I didn't know anything about him more than is in the history books or the basics. What is very interesting with this collection is that it's the first time that it grants access to the mind of such a high-ranking Nazi in a very objective way, because this collection was not meant to be published. So on the opposite of the Goebbels diaries, it was not written with an aim to be published. So for psychologists and for historians, it has a tremendous new insight on how they function. As to your question, if it explains something, some things, not everything, and if we worked very close to a psychiatrist and we asked him, could you predict, if you stick only to the early diaries and his early years, that he will become what he became? So he said, I could have predicted that he would become a very problematic character, but not up to that extent, not one of the biggest mass murderers in history.
Right, and I know you went through this very extensive collection, so this is a difficult question perhaps for you to answer, but is there any one document, one piece that is most disturbing to you?
Yes and no, and I think that what you know is most disturbing is the fact that no matter how you put it, we don't have a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's one person, and even the loving father you will always find the twists. You will always recognize Himmler even in the really loving father he was. And a small example of it is, for example, the postcard this is a postcard that he sent his daughter in 1944, and the drawing on the postcard is soldiers with helmets. When, you know, in my eyes, any complete loving father would send to his 13-year-old child some drawings of sweets or candles, right, or hearts.
Or teddy bears or
exactly,
something.
or cartoons, and not soldiers with helmets. So to me, he will always come up with the twist. And although I knew him while writing the script and the research. At a certain point, you know the character you're dealing with. Time and over and again, it just outrages me to be reminded that.
You know, Vanessa, you are daughter of Israeli parents. This has to be personal in some way, have some personal connection, if I can make that assumption. Let me ask the question, and then you can react to the premise of the question. That is, many would think that this type of collection should be destroyed, that it should not be given a forum whatsoever. Why did you want to make a film about it?
Because I think that regardless of my Jewish roots, I think that this type of collection is very, very important for, you know, first of all, it's to learn, to know, to understand, or to realize one cannot understand. My Jewish roots may make it more emotional, but I think it's way wider than the Holocaust story and then, you know, me and my Jewish roots. I think that it's important for, you know, we used to want and learn from people who changed, from characters who changed the world in a good way, in a great way. And I think it's as important to learn, even if it's way more difficult and less attractive, to learn and to know about people who changed the world in the worst way.
And so is that what you want viewers to walk away with when they see this film?
This and a reflection, any reflection that they may, you know, they may feel. This is why there is no guiding voice in the film, no interviews. Try to have all of us reflect.
Vanessa Lapa, this is absolutely intriguing and fascinating. It's called The Decent One. Our viewers should look for it when it comes to their area. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Arise America. Do join us again tomorrow. I'm Debbie Turner-Bell. Have a great day. Bye-bye.